There's a mirror in the mind. Most people never look into it. Not because it's hidden, but because they've been taught to look everywhere else. At screens, at others, at the noise of the world. But this mirror exists. It has always existed. And when someone finally stands before it, they don't see a face. They see the architecture of reality itself. This mirror is not just a metaphor. It's a principle, a law, something the ancient mystery schools understood with such precision that they encoded it into rituals, symbols, and degrees of initiation that could only be unlocked through years of inner preparation. In the highest degree of Freemasonry, the 33rd degree, there's a teaching so profound that it doesn't just change what is known. It changes what becomes possible to perceive. But before understanding what the 33rd degree reveals, there's a question that must be asked. Why 33? What makes this number so significant that it appears again and again in the architecture of the sacred? The human spine contains exactly 33 vertebrae. 7 cervical, 12 thoracic, 5 lumbar, 5 fused sacral, and 4 fused coccygeal. 33 segments forming a ladder from the base of the body to the crown of the head. This is not coincidence. This is design. And the 33rd degree of Freemasonry mirrors this sacred anatomy. 33 degrees of spiritual ascension, each one representing a step closer to illumination. In sacred numerology, 33 is called a master number. It carries a vibration of spiritual elevation, compassion, and divine service. It represents the union of the Trinity, mind, body, spirit, expressed through the physical plane. Across cultures and traditions, this number appears at moments of profound transformation. Jesus Christ was crucified at the age of 33. His death at this age was not arbitrary. It symbolized the completion of his earthly mission, the perfection of sacrifice, the moment when the human became the bridge to the divine. 33 marks the point where suffering transmutes into transcendence, where the mortal vessel becomes a channel for eternal truth. In sacred geometry, the number 33 appears in the structure of the flower of life, in the angles of certain pyramids, in the harmonic ratios used in ancient temple construction. It is woven into the fabric of creation itself, a frequency, a pattern, a key, and it lives in the spine. Ancient mystics understood that the spine is more than a column of bone. It is a pathway, a circuit. Energy rises through it, vertebra by vertebra, step by step, degree by degree. When this energy reaches the top, the 33rd level, it arrives at a small gland located at the center of the brain, the pineal gland. The pineal gland is no larger than a grain of rice, shaped like a tiny pine cone. The ancient Egyptians called it the Eye of Horus. The Hindus called it the Ajna Chakra, the third eye. The philosopher Descartes called it the seat of the soul. And Freemasons, particularly those initiated into the 33rd degree, understand it as the gateway to higher consciousness. This gland regulates sleep through the production of melatonin, but it also produces something far more mysterious, a substance that has been called the sacred fluid, the elixir of enlightenment. When the pineal gland is activated, perception shifts, dreams become vivid, intuition sharpens, synchronicities multiply. The boundary between the inner world and the outer world begins to dissolve. This is what the 33rd degree teaches, that the human body is a temple, and at the center of that temple is a doorway. The doorway is the pineal gland, and the key to opening it is the conscious ascent of energy through the 33 vertebrae of the spine. But here's the deeper revelation. Reality is not fixed. It is responsive, and And the degree to which this responsiveness is understood determines the degree to which someone becomes a co-creator of experience. Most people live as though the outer world creates the inner world. They see circumstances and believe those circumstances are the cause of their feelings, their thoughts, their state of being. This is the inversion, the great illusion. The 33rd degree reverses the mirror. It teaches that the inner world creates the outer world, that consciousness is the cause, not the effect, that what is held within, whether fear or faith, scarcity or abundance, must by law reflect outward into experience. There's an old story from the Rosicrucian tradition. A master alchemist lived in a small village. People came to him in despair, sick, broken, poor, and within weeks, their lives transformed. Not because he gave them gold or medicine, but because he taught them to reverse the mirror. One student asked, "How do you perform such miracles?" The alchemist replied, "There are no miracles. Only people who've been reading the book of their life backwards. They think the words on the page create the reader. The truth is, the reader creates the words." This is the core teaching embedded in the 33rd degree. Not philosophy, mechanics, the mechanics of consciousness. In Masonic symbolism, there's a tool called the compass. It draws circles. A circle is a perfect representation of consciousness. No beginning, no end. Every point equidistant from the center. When the compass is placed on a blank page and a circle is drawn, a boundary is created. Inside that circle, order exists. Outside, chaos may roam. But inside, there is structure, there is possibility. Most people never pick up the compass. They let the world draw the circle for them. They let circumstances, opinions, traumas, and conditions define what's possible. And so they live within a small circle, convinced that this is all there is. The 33rd degree is the moment when the initiate is handed the compass and told, now the circle can be drawn consciously. But how? How is the pineal gland activated? How does energy rise through 33 levels? The teachings are both ancient and practical. First, there is breath. Conscious breathing, not automatic but intentional. Slow, rhythmic breath creates a wave of energy that moves up the spine. With each inhale, energy rises. With each exhale, it consolidates. Over time, this simple act becomes a pathway of light ascending through the body. Second, there is stillness. Meditation, not as an escape, but as a practice of inner observation. Sitting in silence, spine erect, allows the energy to flow without obstruction. The mind quiets, the chatter fades, and in that silence, something deeper emerges, a presence, an awareness that exists beyond thought. Third, there is light. Exposure to natural sunlight, particularly at dawn, stimulates the pineal gland. The ancients knew this. They built temples aligned with the sunrise. They practiced sun gazing. They understood that light is not just physical, it is informational. It communicates directly with the gland at the center of the brain, awakening capacities that lie dormant in darkness. Fourth, there is purity. The pineal gland can become calcified over time, hardened by toxins, by processed foods, by fluoride in water. Purification becomes essential. Clean water, whole foods, periods of fasting. These are not rituals of deprivation. They are rituals of restoration, clearing the channel so that energy can flow freely. And fifth, there is thought. Every thought carries a frequency. Fear, anger, resentment. These create dense vibrations that block the flow of energy. Gratitude, compassion, reverence. These create high vibrations that open the pathway. This is why moral development is emphasized in Masonic teaching. Virtue is not abstract. It is vibrational alignment. And alignment is what allows energy to ascend through all 33 levels without resistance. When the energy reaches the pineal gland, something shifts. Not someday, not eventually, in that moment. Because the shift is not in the world. The shift is in perception. And perception is everything. There's a symbol in Masonic iconography, the all-seeing eye. It's at the top a pyramid, radiating light. Most believe this represents God watching over humanity. But the deeper teaching is this. The eye represents awareness itself. And when that awareness is placed at the apex of being, when life is lived from observation rather than reaction, everything becomes clear. Every circumstance is neutral until meaning is assigned to it. Every person is a mirror reflecting some part of the inner world. Reality is not happening to anyone. It is happening through them. This is what the 33rd degree reveals. Not through belief, but through practice. Not through theory, but through direct experience. The 33 vertebrae are a ladder. The pineal gland is the doorway, and consciousness is the key. The Mason who reaches this degree has not learned something new. They have remembered something ancient. They have remembered that separation is illusion, that the temple is within, that the light sought outward has always been burning inside, waiting to be turned on. And when that light ignites, reality shifts. Not the external circumstances, though those often follow, but the lens through which existence is perceived. The noise becomes signal, the chaos becomes order. And from that order, a new world emerges, one aligned with truth, with clarity, with the sacred geometry woven into the spine itself. The mirror is waiting. The compass is ready. The 33 steps stand before every soul. The question is not whether the path exists. The question is whether the journey will be taken.